This week we are going to meet Sharon and Jack, the directors of two UK initiatives, Sharon from Soulutions Not Sides and Jack from Oasis of Peace UK. Both organisations bring Palestinians and Israelis to the UK, into schools, universities and institutions, to talk about their lives in an area of conflict. Sharon starts by pointing out that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is being hijacked in the UK for different agendas. And now we hear from Jack, who spoke at a TalkMatters webinar about the challenges when working in the UK on Palestinian-Israeli issues. Here Jack talks about the cultural challenges.
When I was thinking about the challenges that we're facing today in this field, I kind of grouped them into three types: economic challenges, political challenges, and what I'll call cultural challenges. The economic and the political can be dealt with quite quickly, I think, and they could equally be applied to those working in areas other than Israel-Palestine. But it's the kind of third group that concerns me most and that I'll talk about most, what I call the cultural challenges. Explain what I mean by this. I mean the culture that surrounds discussion of Israel-Palestine in the UK. It's a very important topic. It's my kind of obsession. It's also a topic, I think, of surprisingly high national importance. By national, I mean British. This can often really surprise observers from other countries, not least Israel. And if you told me 10 or so years ago when I first started working on this topic, that Israel-Palestine would become one of the most kind of potent symbols for wider culture wars, for want of a better term, in the UK, then I too would have been very surprised. If you told me then it would tear apart one of the two biggest political parties in this country, for example, play a huge part in its most recent electoral defeat, I wouldn't have believed you again. The proportion of the UK which is actively interested in Israeli-Palestinian matters, to the extent that they're prepared to give time or money, it's obviously relatively small. For most Britons, and this is a big generalization, but Israel and Palestine are, quoting Chamberlain, faraway countries of which we know little. Bizarrely, however, despite this fact, Israel-Palestine is actually a huge issue in British political, small p political life. Why? Because even though the interested group is small in numerical terms, its members are obsessional when it comes to Israel-Palestine. It's a really big priority for them. Superficially, this might sound like no bad thing for those of us working in the field, right? I work in what should be a niche issue, and yet you have a disproportionately large pool of interested people. However, and this is the key point, of that population of interested people, engaged people, the proportion of them who approach the issues with nuance, who are open to dialogue, who are committed to hearing both narratives and to the national well-being of both Israeli Jews and Palestinians, in other words, those people who are constructive, is, in my opinion, tiny.
Thank you for watching this short clip. We have more inspirational speakers joining us for our regular webinars. Visit talkmatters.info to meet other speakers, to join our mailing list and come along to our next live webinars.